Welcome to this week's Harness Racing Alumni Show. I'm Freddie Hudson, and I'm here today with Trade Martin and Bob Marks. This week's Harness Racing Alumni Show is brought to you by Hunterton Farm, selling their consignments at the upcoming Lexington Select Yearling sale, September 29th through October 3rd, and at the Harrisburg sale, November 3rd through the 7th. For more information, visit huntertonfarm.com. The Meadowlands Racetrack, visit playmeadowlands.com. Also, we are looking for sponsors for the upcoming October release of the Bill O'Donnell Tribute. Sponsorships available. Visit ustrots.com.
The Harness Racing Alumni Show with your hosts, Freddie Hudson and Trade Martin.
Joining us today is Hunterton Farms' Steve Stewart. Steve, welcome to the Harness Racing Alumni Show.
Welcome. Glad to be back.
It's always a pleasure to have you. Well, it's that time of the year again. You have the big sales coming up. You have Lexington, then followed by Harrisburg. Why don't you fill us in on a little bit about the Lexington sale?
Well, I think it'll be another pop sale. I think that I don't think we're any different than anybody else that has a lot of nice horses. And I think that just looking through the catalog, if you can't find one at Lexington or Harrisburg, you're not going to find one. So I think, I'm always encouraged and always think positive, but I think if you look at the Keeneland sale, it's over the top. I really don't think that we need to be over the top. I hope we're not over the top like they are. I think that there's the breeders are making enough money, in my opinion, and I don't think we need to go any higher. I hope that we're even as the way we've been the last couple of years. But the demand is going to be there, in my opinion. I mean, if you look at the USDA website, it'll show you to date the purse structure and basically exactly where we were this time last year. And I love the one thing that I always tell people that I love about the standardbred business is that you can find a yearling at any price range that can compete at the top level. And the perfect the perfect example is we sold two colts at Harrisburg last year on the first day. Hip number 30 was Endurance, and he brought a whopping $14,000. And he's, one of the top horses trotting colts in the country. A little bit later on the first day, we sold Apex for $525,000, and he just won the Peter Houghton on Friday, and they're both going to meet up in Mohawk Million on Saturday. So, the fun part in our game is you can play at the top level and get lucky and do well, like we did with Maryland at 475. But there's room for everybody to play, and you can play with confidence. I don't think that you have to feel like the chances aren't there for you. They are, and that's a shining example of two horses selling on the same day, one for 14 and one for 525, and they're at the top of the game. So I'm always encouraged, and I think everybody else should be too, because I think you have a shot. Everybody has a shot.
The other thing I want to bring up is that the sale is September 29th through October 3rd, and that the catalogs are on the way, and that anyone can also download the catalogs at the Lexington Select website.
That's exactly right. And they're a little slow getting the catalogs out this year, but it's going to be well worth the wait. I think there's 80. That probably bodes well for the shoppers or whatever. There's going to be an abundance of probably whatever you're looking for. So I think I'm encouraged, and I think we all should be, because I think everybody's kind of get a drink. Everybody's kind of get a drink of the success.
Now you probably have a lot of people looking at the yearlings already. Are there a lot of Canadians down there looking at them at this point?
They're not. The Canadians aren't really here yet. Usually the Canadians will come the week, prior to. We ship in on Friday before the sale on Monday, And you'll get, it almost seems like after the Little Brown Jug this Thursday, you start getting people much more in the area. And so you get much more people coming, and that's always encouraging or whatever, you know. I mean, you get kind of a taste of what people like and what they're looking at, and so it's kind of a preview of the madhouse once you get to the sale. You know, not everybody has the opportunity to come to the farms to look at them. They should come if they can, and a lot of the guys do. But it's kind of a fun. It's obviously it's a hectic time, but it's a fun time too. You know, right. It's enjoyable to be able to show off what your 3 years of work or whatever to. And most of the people we've got a lot of nice horses, so it's encouraging when they do come.
Now, Kentucky is doing fantastic, and also Endurance won the Kentucky Championship on Sunday. Congratulations there.
Thank you.
And you had a couple thirds. Yeah, you had a couple of thirds there. I saw also. So you're off to.
We had 3 of the 8 winners at the championship. We sold a filly last year to Irv Miller, and another success story. We did not raise the filly, Sweet Lou filly. I think it's trying to think of the name of it. But anyway, she won the 2-year-old fillies or whatever, and Irv just sold her to Mr. Pollock for a boatload of money, and she won very impressively. I think it's Top Line Lucky or something, Topville Lucky, I think is her name, and Sweet Lou filly that we sold at Harrisburg for $27,000. And Irv Miller bought her or whatever and cashed her in 10 months later and for a boatload of money. And so now, and we did the same thing with Yo Tilly. Yo Tilly sold 2 years ago. We sold her or whatever and for $25,000. And the gentleman that bought her, sold her to Mr. Pollock last fall or whatever, and obviously she's undefeated. So, and that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of the fun part. You don't need only inexpensive yearlings winning. You need all across the board, and I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's kind of the good thing in our business.
Yeah. Now getting back to Kentucky racing, like those finals were going for $400,000 each. Do you see the purses for standardbreds increasing in Kentucky over the next couple of years?
I think they'll be tweaked. That we will. I feel very confident that we won't raise the 400 to 500. I don't think we will do that. But I think what we will do is, and I think the Red Miles portion of it. We have the 3 tracks. I think the Red Miles is pretty well taken care of. I think where we might add here, if we have extra money, and we probably will, would be to Oak Grove and to Corbin. Would be my thing. This year we added, I think, 4 legs of the $35,000 at the Red Mile for 4-year-olds, and so. But there's everybody is horsemen are always let's adjust here and adjust there, and there may be some adjustments as we go forward. And the good thing in Kentucky is you have a wonderful sounding board or a wonderful situation where the decision making is in ivory tower somewhere. It's a bunch of horsemen trying to we're all in this together, so to speak, and trying to do the best thing. And so there's 4 different levels. You got the Wildcat at $10,000, and then you got the Goldenrod at $15,000, then you got the Commonwealth at $30,000, and then you got the Championship at $80,000, and those are the legs. And so, and each one of those at the Red Mile has 4, and then the other tracks have 2 or 3 legs, and then finals and whatever. So, and then the fair program is very healthy. So it's very encouraging to see the success that Kentucky brings. And most of the horses are dual eligible. So if you don't want to compete here, then they're usually eligible in Pennsylvania or New Jersey or whatnot. So it's very lucrative and very there's lots of options for you. That's for sure. The key is to find the good horse. The key is to find the good. If you've got a good horse, you're pretty well taken care of because the money is there. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Now the other thing, we have a couple big races coming up. We have the Jug and the Jugette coming up this week, and we have the Mohawk Million coming up. What are your feels there?
Well, I think that the Jug is always fun. Cindy and I try to make it up if we can, if we're not, don't get too many lookers on Thursday and this Thursday. But we hope to go there and, shake hands and tell people what we have, and that's always fun. And then we'll have a fun night, hopefully a fun night. We own part of Apex and we own part of Maryland, so they both are racing on Saturday at their big night at Mohawk on Saturday night. So there's a lot going on, and there's a whole lot of money being given out at the moment, which is perfect right before the sales. And you have all the, I think Ohio goes after their sale this past Friday, but a lot of the money is distributed right before the sales, which is kind of a nice situation for everybody to kind of see where they're at. So yeah, I think it's going to be it's a very, very fun time of the year to kind of see, and it's whether it's us showing off 3 years of deciding who to breed your mare to till yearling time, to the guys that bought yearlings last year and the year before, showing off whether they bought the right ones or not. So it's kind of a show me time of the year, that's for sure. And it's fun, that's kind of what we all do this for.
Correct, and you also have a consignment going to the Harrisburg sale, which runs from November 3rd through November 7th. Any thoughts on the Harrisburg sale, or anything you want to share with us about the Harrisburg consignment?
I think that it'll be a very good sale. I think that I think people fall over themselves trying to find good horses, and there's lots and lots of good horses at Harrisburg also. If you just look at Apex and Endurance as an example of the two horses that we sold, and then Topville Lucky. I mean, we sold 3 of the top, not champions, but we'll see, but 3 top horses that we sold in our consignment last year. I think we got we always stay around 50 or 58 yearlings at Harrisburg, and it's a good situation. It's at the end of the year and whatnot, and the tradition there is there's no better tradition than Harrisburg. So I think it'll be a very good sale there also. No, I was just with some of the new stallions and a lot of the other ones, I think the Bulldogs are going to do very well this year selling. We've got several really, really nice ones to sell, and then you've got some of the old guard of Walners and Tactical Landings and whatnot. I think there's, many years there's been times where a certain stallion just lays over everybody else, and it's like, well, if you don't have one of them, you really don't have much of a chance. But I don't feel that way at all. I think there's enough stallion success across the board that everybody can, you don't have to have a Walner. You don't have to have, there wasn't a whole lot of screaming and hollering looking for Captain Corey's last year, but obviously a lot of people have been rewarded by buying them last year. So, it seems like there's a smorgasbord of stallions.
I want to say one thing, Steve. Like, I just looked at the charts here, and currently you're sitting in 3rd place for breeders on the year. You've had 240 starters and 157 winners, and earnings of $6,359,000. Congratulations on that, and that looks like a great year for you guys.
Thank you.
The Lexington Select Sale is taking place September 29th through Friday, October 3rd. And the Harrisburg Sale is taking place Monday, November 3rd through Friday, November 7th. Check out the Hunterton Farm consignment. That's a wrap for this week's show. Steve, thank you so much for joining us. And please don't forget to join us again next week.
Now, just a little reminder.
Hunterton Farm, selling their consignments at the upcoming Lexington Select Yearling Sale, September 29th through October 3rd, and at the Harrisburg Sale, November 3rd through the 7th. For more information, visit HuntertonFarm.com. The Meadowlands Racetrack, visit PlayMeadowlands.com. Also, we are looking for sponsors for the upcoming October release of the Bill O'Donnell Tribute. Sponsorships available. Visit ustrots.com.
The Harness Racing Alumni Show